Good morning, everyone. Welcome back on this Friday. It is 5:13, and we've got a little bit of winter weather to talk about.
Yeah, we've been spoiled with some nice weather this week, but again, it is February, and well, that's to be expected, I suppose.
It is. And yesterday, that sun was absolutely gorgeous outside. I think you slept
I slept
through
through
it.
all of it.
I saw it. It was beautiful. You guys
I'll
at home
take
know
your
what
word
I'm
for
talking
it.
about. Here's meteorologist Dave.
I'm sure it was fantastic too. I didn't, outside this morning doesn't look like a bad start, but be aware we are going to have some wintry weather moving through in the next couple of hours. Holly in downtown Cameron, not too bad. If you can get out a little bit early, then I think you will fare well. Temperatures in the mid to upper 30s across much of the area. Low 30s heading up into Dayton, Cleveland, Athens. Low 30s and even the upper 20s up in the Blue Ridge. Mine Eagle, you're at 36, 38 in Chattanooga. We're going to drop another 3-4 degrees before the morning is done. So as we're starting to get that wintry weather moving through, temperatures will be a few degrees cooler than this. Winds out of the south-southeast at 5 miles per hour. Winter weather advisory in effect until 1 p.m. for the highlighted counties, including Grundy County. Altamont down to Mine Eagle could get up to 1.5 inches of snow, and locally could even get some higher amounts than that. Could get up to 2 inches in a few spots, but on the order of 0.5 inch to 1.5 inches is what I think we can expect through the morning hours, through that advisory period until 1 p.m. And that's going to be the case up toward the Blue Ridge Mountains as well. Now, moving ahead into tonight, you saw those numbers jump up a little bit. Yeah, we're going to have another little burst of a wintry mix moving into the area late tonight between 10 p.m. and 3 a.m. heading into Saturday morning. Then the weekend is going to be dry and you'll have good weather. So wintry mix this morning, cool and dry weather for the weekend, and then it's going to warm up next week, but it's also going to be wet next week as well. Well, that water and rain next week will hopefully knock out some of the pollen in the air. It's extremely heavy, and I know I've heard a lot of people complaining about it, so it's definitely there. Not too much going on right now in Chattanooga, but you can see this shield of wetness moving into Nashville back toward Memphis. That is what will wheel into the Tennessee Valley right about the time we're hitting our morning lows. So nothing out there as we zoom in to locally the high-res radar. Nothing moving in yet, but all of that off to the west is going to be moving in as we move through the morning. So this is 8 o'clock. So I would say about 7, 8 o'clock, we're going to start to see those snow showers developing on the plateau right around that warning area or advisory area. Might even see the wintry mix starting in Chattanooga by about 8 o'clock, and then as we progress on through, not going to see too much. Maybe late morning is when you start to see it picking back up. So we'll have that initial little burst, then maybe a little bit of a break where I'm not going to say you're not going to see anything, but you might not see much, and then it's going to be a pretty wet late morning and lunchtime hour for you. So this is 10 o'clock. Got that wintry mix moving through Chattanooga. Again, still as late as 10 o'clock, some pretty decent snow showers continuing on the plateau. Heading up to the Blue Ridge, you can see that also. And then as we move into 11 a.m., it really stretches out so that we have those decent snow showers in the Blue Ridge. Mainly rain by 11 a.m. in the valleys, and then a wintry mix as we warm up a few degrees on the Cumberland Plateau. North Georgia looking at some pretty solid rain at this time, except maybe some of the higher elevations of Dade, Walker County, where we see a little wintry mix there also. 12 o'clock into 1 o'clock, you're still going to see a wet wintry mess up toward the Blue Ridge, but everything begins to taper off moving through the afternoon in the valley and on the plateau. And it's going to be pretty dry for most of the afternoon and night, except for late tonight. Look at this, another little burst of energy moving through about 10 o'clock. I'll say this is slowly going to drift through between 10 p.m. and 3 a.m. And then after 3 a.m., I think all of these little impulses of wintry weather will slide out of the area. And by 6 o'clock, as you're waking up starting your Saturday, if you're getting up at 6 a.m. on a Saturday, then I think you're going to be just fine. The rest of your Saturday looks good. You're going to have clear skies, and it'll climb into the 50s. Sunday will be dry and even warmer, climbing into the low 60s. So whatever you have planned for the weekend, you will be fine. Next week, that's when it gets rainy. Let's talk about rain first. Not that much for the event today. It's mainly going to be a wintry mix mixed in with some snowfall. Some of you may get a little bit more than 1/10 of an inch, but that will be about it. And then next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 2 to 4 inches of rain, a pretty good possibility. Quick look at the Holiday Inn downtown camera again, and the snow showers in the mountains, the wintry mix in the valleys. Expect that through the morning, ending and clearing out a bit by late this afternoon, 48 degrees. And then tonight, late tonight, we're going to have that next burst of energy moving through. Partly cloudy skies until then, and then 35 degrees as that clears out early on Saturday morning, and we'll drop down into the low to mid 30s in the valley, upper 20s in the mountains. And your storm alert 7-day forecast, yes, it is a storm alert weather day today. Do be aware as we're heading out. If we get any closings from schools, we will certainly let you know. And yeah, it's going to be kind of nasty this morning. Beautiful on Sunday. That's kind of the peak day of the forecast. And then we have to deal with the rain along with the warmer weather next week. Everybody be careful as you're trekking around this morning.
Yeah, look at that next week. So much rain. So Sunday is the day that we need to get out and enjoy.
Absolutely.